assassin. He's a warlord.
Well,
I assume he could put together a staff again. You know,
yeah.
Penn State has hundreds of thousands of living alums, so if they want to pay $50 million a year for a roster, they can in their sleep. I mean, our two schools here in the state of Mississippi can pay 30 to 40 if they want to, and they get locked in. So Penn State and Ohio State and Michigan and Indiana and those huge monster schools can definitely pay 40 to 60 million a year. And Penn State's got people who can do it by themselves. And even Mississippi State and Ole Miss have guys that could do it, you know, to a certain extent, 20 to 30 million by themselves yearly, but annually. Urban, we'll see. That would be a huge name. I mean, he was unbelievable at Florida. Well, he was unbelievable at Bowling Green, Utah, Florida, and Ohio State. Whether you like him or not, he wins.
It would appease the fan base.
Gus Malzahn's not going to be in the mix, I don't think. I mean, Gus is a hell of a coach. You know, Gus would be the guy to, like, get the Arkansas job. You know, he's from Arkansas. Rhett Lashley's tied to Arkansas. But does Rhett Lashley want to leave SMU?
Why?
To go to Arkansas? You know, he's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. SMU has a running ton of money. Their boosters have now decided we want to win in football. It's legal again. It's legal to do whatever we want. We bought our way into the ACC. We told them they didn't have to pay us for 7 years, media rights fees.
Right.
We're still going to go get players.
It was in the playoffs last year.
He played at Penn State. James Franklin beat him.
Yeah, they were gifted. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Franklin got a good draw. Would Rhett Lashley, would he go to Penn State? Maybe talking about something different.
Yeah.
Is the call to home that much? Again, I don't know where these guys' parents or grandparents live and things like that.
Oh, come on. You're supposed to know that.
But also, Rhett Lashley can get to Arkansas in 40 minutes on a private plane if he wants to go see, let's just say his parents live there or family or his wife's parents or whatever. Now, Gus Malzahn, on the other hand, he's offensive coordinator at Florida State. He's a hell of a football coach. Gus would be a good hire at Arkansas. If Beamer made the jump to Penn State, he'd be a good hire at South Carolina. If Brom wanted to leave his alma mater of Louisville, he'd be a good hire at Louisville. And if Brent Key wanted to leave his alma mater at Georgia Tech, he'd be a good hire at Georgia Tech. John Summerall, you would have to believe, is still going to be in the mix. And I don't know if it's guaranteed that Summerall takes the Kentucky job. While I think that could be a place that speaks to him being an alum, I don't know if that necessarily means he's going to Kentucky if they fire Mark Stoops. I do believe that this is going to make other rich boosters who have already done everything in life. They've already done the planes. They've already done the houses. You know, everybody's out of the house. They got grandkids. They're worth either hundreds of millions or a billionaire. It's usually when something like this happens, it drives another group of alums to say, well, they did it, and they're 34-8, and they were a play away from the national championship game last year. And what are we doing? We can't win a conference game at Auburn, and we've got an unbelievable defense. You've got a top 10 defensive coordinator. You have a booster group that's one of the top 5 aggressive booster groups in the history of college football. Now it's legal again. I don't know how many times but it's legal. You can pay players. You better be paying players.
Right.
And at Florida, top 10 research university, top 10 public university academically, more money than God, proved that they could win national titles. Spurrier won 1, should have won 2 more. Urban won 2. Even not being good, they still send players to the NFL, left and right. They trip over the number 12 class in the country every year. If they've got a good recruiter, they're in the 3 to 7 range. What are they going to do at Florida? Are they going to go get Drinkwitz? I don't think Scott Strickland likes the idea of having Lane Kiffin. I don't know why, but I mean, I get it. Scott's a smart guy, but I just think if he's going to have to make a move, which it looks like they are, then I think Drinkwitz, unless he pulls Beamer. That fits Scott. Drinkwitz fits Scott. Beamer fits Scott. I don't think they'll hire Brent Key, but God, he is a warlord. Give me some Brent Key. I mean, that guy can just throw the gloves up. He can coach anywhere. You could drop him in Honduras today. He could find 11 guys. He's just one of those guys. There are just some people who come here. Brent Key, it doesn't matter. Just let's go. He's the head coach at Georgia Tech. He played there in the late 90s. 4-year starter. Started as a true freshman, I think. Kind of like Matt Luke on the offensive line at Ole Miss. He just got thrown into the fray and into the mix. That dude's a dog. He is. Back in a second. All right. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's going to be a fun week. Fun week. The lineup of games, amazing. Again, this weekend. Unbelievable. Starting with Ole Miss at Georgia and Mississippi State at Florida. MSU at Florida and Ole Miss at Georgia. And those lines have been moving. Hello. So, got to get locked in on that. Mike Detillier coming up next, 8:30, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike D talking some LSU football. And we'll hit James Franklin, too. I'd like to get Mike D's thoughts as many coaches and people and agents that he knows. Who could take that job? Urban Meyer, Dan Mullen, Kurt Signetti. Brett Bielema would be a good hire. I don't think they'll get to him. He's at Illinois for our listeners. Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri. Shane Beamer at South Carolina. Brent Key at Georgia Tech. Again, alum at Georgia Tech. Jeff Brom at Louisville. Alum at Louisville. You know where Dan is. He's at UNLV, 6-0. They're just kind of making it work out there. Now they pull Boise this week at Boise. So that's going to be a different animal. But they're 6-0 and Dan's going to win at least, a couple more ball games. I think minimum 8-4 in year one, and may go 9-3. He may go 10-2 out there in year one. And, and Jackson and I were talking. I mean, if he drops an 11-1, what are you going to do?
That's where I got him. I think he's going to beat Boise.
I don't even know if he's going to be able to stay. I think he wants to stay. I talked to him last week, as you know. I went over to UNLV and hung out with him for a little while. He is happy. Really? Dan Mullen is happy. You can tell, y'all all can. You can tell when people are excited and happy. I got to see him interact with the players. I got to go in the locker room. I got to see all that. I guess I just didn't realize all the SEC players they have on that roster. And got to meet a couple of his coaches. Of course, John Clark is out there with him. John Clark was with him at Mississippi State. Super nice guy. Dan, they love where they live in a beautiful golf community. His son's a big-time basketball player. The AAU comes to you in Vegas. So y'all know that. I mean, big tournaments, big teams. You can be in LA in an hour. We talked about that. And Dan's made so much money. But, I mean, they got, 15 flights going back and forth from Vegas to L.A., so Cannon has all sorts of access to AAU between Vegas and Los Angeles. Now, having said all that, Penn State calls, you got to go.
Gone.
I don't know that Dan, will be up. I would think Kurt Signetti, Urban Meyer, and I don't know that Urban's a better hire than Dan today. Obviously, Urban's track record is second to none over about a 20-year stretch. Right? Maybe not that long. 15, 16 years, whatever he was at Bowling Green, Utah, Florida, and Ohio State, winning 3 national titles in a short period of time. And I'm thinking Urban could recreate himself and figure out the portal. And we know that Penn State's got money galore. But are they going to be in the, if Signetti's buyout's 10 to 13 million, that's done.
Yeah.
It's just a matter if he wants to come to go to Happy Valley. And he may be looking at it like, I'm at Indiana. I got everything I need. You can win anywhere now. Indiana has a boatload of money and hundreds of thousands of alums that will kick in the money that you need to buy players or buy a team, buy a roster, buy a good roster.
What makes you think Urban couldn't? I mean, he's already running the portal.
I don't know necessarily if I think nothing makes me think that Urban couldn't.
Okay.
I just
desire.
Can you get? He's made a fortune. He's been on the sideline for several years now.
Yeah.
Can you get revved back up and die for it? I mean, you have to live for it. You have to live in the building. You have to, I mean, I would think Urban's getting to that age where he's got grandkids. He's making a ton of money for Fox.
Oh, yeah.
He can speak and make $100,000 a speech too, motivationally, maybe. And so, is that what you want to do? Do you want to be in the building at 5:30 in the morning? Do you want to be there at 7 o'clock at night? Do you want to be there on basketball weekends hosting recruits for football? Do you want to be there in the spring hosting portal recruits and future high school guys? Do you want to be there in June for the camps?
He's out.
Hosting high school kids and possibly that last couple of portal guys. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he can't,
Sure.
but like Kurt Signetti's 64 years old and mad.
Right.
He got passed over 1 million times. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to win a national championship. He believes, just like Manny Diaz said, that he can win a national championship anywhere now. And let's drop number 2, Manny, again on coaching today. I thought Manny Diaz at Duke, who was former Mississippi State defensive coordinator, absolutely nailed it in his press conference this week. This is Manny Diaz.
Look, there's 3 things you go through when you're a coach. You're in the honeymoon phase, you're in the please don't leave phase, and you're in the please leave now phase, right? And what I just told you is it can change in 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, we were 1-2, right? And that's what I told the team. I said, once you start getting into what's happening then and what happened next and that, you are going to get beat that weekend you play. College football is preparation and mindset. And so I think that's the whole key. I think that's you have got to be present of where you are. And the second you start thinking about what's next, you're about to get it.
That's Manny Diaz, the head football coach at Duke. He's right. I love the way he laid it out. As a coach, you're in the honeymoon phase, number 1. Number 2, please don't leave phase. And then number 3, please leave now, which is what Penn State told James Franklin. Not sure that was the best idea, but this is where we are. And so now we're going to and it's a major, major brand. I've been up there. Some of you have been up there. I mean, once you go up there, you get it. Now, it's still, it is it is hard to get to. But they're so big. They have so much money. And, they'll do what it takes to win. One thing, though, James Franklin was a hell of a recruiter. Now, he's a big game hunter. He was. They couldn't figure it out on offense. They just couldn't. He just could not get it right.
Ever.
They had dudes, and, they did for 5 minutes with McSorley and Saquon.
Okay.
Okay?
But we could have figured that out.
And we realized that wasn't Joe Moorhead.
No.
That was
Saquon.
Those 2 guys were that good, and Saquon was beyond generational, like Adrian Peterson.
Yes.
I'm talking unbelievable freaking talent. Right? Derrick Henry, Saquon, Adrian Peterson, the discussion's over. Right? Guys who are freaks, who can change the game at a position that is extremely difficult to change the game at tailback or running back or whatever you want to call it. Mike D coming up next. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Lunch today brought to you by Burgers, Blues, Barbecue, Dogwood, Flowwood. B3, Blue Plates and Smash Burgers. Burgers, Blues, Barbecue, Dogwood, Flowwood. And good morning to you. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. You can watch the show on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. You can stream the show on the Out of Bounds radio app and thezone1059.com.
I believe in Auburn and love it. War Eagle.
Yes, you do, you freeze. Show is brought to you by Sound and Communications. If you need a video wall for your school or business, hospital, lobby, conference room, that's all powered by SoundcomAV.com. They are the leader in video walls, Sound and Communications. Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike D joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. Mike D, what was your initial reaction when you saw that Penn State fired James Franklin on Sunday morning?
It was, let's say, a little bit of a surprise, but it was not a shocker to me. Knowing the former couple of them, Penn State players, they weren't happy with Franklin, even to start the season. So to have this happen, and it's just the turn of events. You play a tough game at home against Oregon and lose in sort of dramatic fashion. But, okay, you can't lose back-to-back games to teams that you 20 points or more favored over. And one of them being at home against Northwestern. So you really didn't have a lot of choice here at this point. He looked as though he had really lost control of this football team. And I think they figured it out, you know what, enough's enough. And they made that move. I do think, Bo, behind the scenes, when everything's going to get said, I think there are some major money donors behind all this who didn't want Franklin there, felt as though he was one of these coaches that would throw everybody under the bus but himself when they would lose a game. And they just wanted to change. And it is something you're going to see now more and more across college football landscape. People who have deep pockets and have some influence having a major say on if a coach stays or goes. It is almost a little bit like the NFL to a certain extent, with an owner saying, I've got enough and I'm going to move on. I don't care what the buyout is for a coach. And you see it now in front of your very eyes. We saw it a few years back with Jimbo Fisher, and now we're seeing the exact same sort of scenario of events happen to James Franklin. It's part of the money whirl of college football and college athletics, and it won't stop.
Mike Detillier on the Out of Bounds Show. All right, Mike, you hear names: Urban Meyer, Kurt Signetti, Dan Mullen, Eli Drinkwitz. The list goes on and on. Who you buying is maybe the top 2 to 3 guys for Penn State?
You know, Kurt Signetti is a Pennsylvania guy, grew up in Pittsburgh, knows the area really well, great success. That would be the first phone call for me. And have him tell me no. Have him tell me I don't want the job. But there's no doubt Signetti's going to get that phone call and at least a reach out to see how much interest you have. The other guy's Matt Rule, now at Nebraska. Another Pennsylvania guy, former player. And the connection there certainly being the athletic director when he was at Temple is the same athletic director that's at Penn State today. So those two guys know one another very well. I think it's going to be one of those two guys, either Kurt Signetti or Matt Rule, who's now at Nebraska. And certainly Rule is the guy that I would keep a close eye on because of his prior relationship with the athletic director when they were both at Temple. So I think Signetti or Rule will be the new head coach at Penn State.
All right. So I mean, Matt Rule is now looks like he's turning it at Nebraska. They're 5-1, 2-1 this year. He did a good job at Temple, a good job at Baylor. I give him a pass somewhat on Carolina, as you know.
He wasn't ready. He
Yeah.
wasn't ready to be a pro coach. He found out it's a different world.
Yeah.
Pro football. There are a lot of guys that coached in the college ranks, and they try in the pros today, and it doesn't work. So he's one of a long list. But I think he did a great job at Temple to win there. And for what he inherited at Baylor, that was a tough spot, and he ended up winning pretty well there. I don't think he realized what he was walking into at Nebraska.
I agree.
That was a lot tougher build than I think he believed it was going to be. Growing up, Nebraska was a kingpin school. Bob Devaney did it, so well in the 60s and early 70s. And then Tom Osborne had great success with the program, certainly 70s and into the 80s and into the early 90s. But it's not been the same. And they had been a national recruit team. Many of those players, they were reaching out. And I know Louisiana, they came get a number of players here from the state to go to Nebraska. Same thing going out into California, but the college football landscape had changed. And I think Matt realized that, and it's taken him a lot longer to rebuild that team than I think he believed he could. Man, at Penn State is different. You got a lot of people in the state of Pennsylvania. It is football country. You can recruit all around you into the New Jersey, New York, Connecticut area, and then even go a little bit, say west into Ohio and Michigan, and they got players. And, it is a prestigious school. And so, again, I think the recruiting part won't be the problem there. I do think getting along with the major boosters and a long list of former players who helped build that program is key at Penn State. And I think Kirk Cignetti and I think Matt Rule understand that very, very well.
They hadn't really beat anybody this year. It's a pretty cream puff schedule for Nebraska. They lost to Michigan. They avoid Ohio State. They do play at Penn State late in the year. If he loses to the interim coach, I don't know if that'll impact it or not. Matt Rule doesn't do a lot for me. I think he's a good coach, but I don't know if you move off James Franklin for him. But I get where Mike D's going with Kurt Cignetti and Matt Rule. We'll see if Mullen or Drinkwitz or Beamer or others can get or want to get in the mix. He is Mike Detillier on the Out of Bounds show. Mike, I don't think Hugh Freeze is going to make it at Auburn. Do you?
No, I don't. Again, I think, you get back to people who have tremendous control here and saying, well, why is other programs turning around so quickly and you haven't?
Bam.
You haven't got this program turned around. And so, it's going to be really, really tough for Hugh Freeze at Auburn. Really is. And their deal is, okay, we spent money. We gave you money for new facilities, for NIL. Where's the results? Where's the results with this? Playing close, okay, that's great. It's not winning. Winning is what this is all about. It's a bottom line business. And you're not given 5 years to rebuild the team. Okay, this isn't back in the 50s and 60s. You're got to rebuild this team quickly. He hasn't been able to do it. And hadn't found the right quarterback that he can hang his hat on. And again, you're playing close games, but you're not winning, and that's not going to cut it. It's just not going to do it. in the world we live in today of college athletics. I don't think he makes it. And I wouldn't be surprised they at least take a long look at that gentleman that's in New Orleans right now. John Summerall.
John Summerall, baby.
I would not be surprised they take a long look at John. What he's been able to do, at Tulane. He knows the area to recruit very well. He's a guy that would be hard to pass over. And I think North Carolina made a huge mistake. Because I think had Belichick not thrown his hat in the ring at a certain moment, John would be coaching at North Carolina today.
Yeah.
They made a major mistake there because I think John would have done a really good job coaching the Tar Heel football team. That schedule in North Carolina's got not tough at all. Mm-hmm. And to see all the problems that North Carolina has right now, that's all on the back of Bill Belichick and his GM, really, Mike Lombardi. It's on those two guys. They thought this was going to be easy. There's some arrogance involved here. That, hey, we had all this success in the NFL. It's going to be easy in college football. No, it's not. Nothing's easy. So at Auburn, I would not be surprised one of those first phone calls go out to Mr. Summerall.
All right. I don't think Napier's not going to make it. I don't think he is. Even with winning 5 in a row last year, I just think they're going to lose.
He's not surviving this year.
Yeah. So do you think they go after James Franklin? Or Scott wanted him a few years ago, and they couldn't make it happen. Scott Strickland, AD at Florida. Do you think they go after James Franklin, or do you think they look, Beamer, Drinkwitz, Kiffin, Brent Key? Where do you think they go, Mike D?
That's a highly coveted job, and you in an area where, man, you got talent surrounding you.
Yeah,
and they got deep pockets there at Florida to go after who they wanted to go after. Man, it's a make or break for Strickland. You named off
we
a
ain't going
couple.
Nowhere.
What's that?
Sorry, I hit a button. Go ahead, Mike D.
Oh, okay. I think Franklin would certainly be in the mix there. I think he would certainly be in the mix for the Florida job.
Yeah.
Not sure he would be on top of the list, but I think he would certainly be in that top 3 of guys that they would go after. But they got to make a major splash here. They have to make a major splash with this hire. And certainly they've got the money, facilities to do it.
Yeah.
And to really go after someone. Here's the bad thing with that, man, the way recruiting is done today, in this early signing period, whoever takes that job has got a really short time to get kind of everything settled in year one, because you have that early signing period in December, and now what looks to be that would be just that one-time transfer, period. You better get everything straightened out and fast, and have a plan to make this work. For wherever you go in to coach, it's a little bit more difficult taking over a school like that in early December today than it was 5 years ago, where you had a little bit of time to recruit high school athletes. And then, as we've seen this occur, the transfer portal situation, it's a quick turnaround. You better have a plan and better have one quick for year one. And also, too, you're going to lose a lot of people. We've seen it. We saw it here when Coach O left. They were down to around 40 players. Same thing with Lincoln Riley at USC. A lot of those guys, man, I don't have a connection in this, coach. I'm out of here. And they leave. So it's a major rebuild wherever you're at.
Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. He joins us on 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, driven by your next GMC Sierra truck at Fowler GMC, Pearl Brandon. All right, Mike, let's go to LSU Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's the favorite. They're laying 2.5. It's an early morning game in Nashville. And so LSU is, I think they're a nice team. You know, they're far from like really good or scary or dominant or elite. And Vandy's got a nice team. Diego can mess with you, though, being mobile and so on. I think LSU could have their hands full on Saturday, Mike D. How do you see it?
I believe they will. LSU has not been a good early morning team. When you play 11 o'clock, that has not been something they've done very well. They've tried all kind of different ways because this team is normally playing at 6 o'clock or 6:30, 6:45, whatever, and they haven't played well in the morning and especially on the road. Last year against South Carolina, they almost sleptwalk for half the game against South Carolina. They were fortunate to come out of there with a W. So defensively, LSU's a good team, a good to very good team on defense. People say, well, look what Ole Miss did to them. Well, Ole Miss is going to move the football on people. They're going to get points, and they're going to get yards. Their defense didn't lose them the game against Ole Miss. Their offense was El Stinko. And we talked about this in the preseason, and it has continually followed this team. Their inability to run the football. They are not a physical team up front. They ran the football a little bit better against South Carolina. I say a little bit better, but it's not like all of a sudden this team is going to be a really good running football team. And then the turnovers now. They fumble in the end zone against South Carolina. Nussmeier has a bad pick. Didn't see the defensive back and throws an interception. So now you got turnovers. No, this is going to be a really tight game here. It's not like playing them last year in Tiger Stadium. So I think this is a razor close game between these two teams, and Diego gives you that ability to make plays on the move. Mm-hmm. And in saying that, I think the most improved area on the LSU football team is their secondary. Bringing in those two transfer safeties and then getting Mansour Delane from Virginia Tech. Man, he's a good-looking football player, and he's the best cornerback that's hit that field at LSU since Stingley. He's that good. And then, you see the emergence of the young freshman, DJ Pickett, what type of impact he'll have on this football team. P.J. Woodland has played extremely well. They've been able to get a really good pass rush. They got about 9 guys. They rotate up front. And still got Harold Perkins. So I think this game won't turn into one of these games where everybody's looking at the LSU defense. They have bailed them out this year, time after time. The big thing is, can LSU's offense get some consistency? At least run the ball a little bit and not turn the football over. And there is no doubt, even though I said this over a month ago in your program, I believed it then. I know it's true today. Garrett Nussmeier is playing with an injury in that upper body. At first, Brian Kelly denied it. Then he admitted he's playing with it. Then it's not too bad. Then it's, well, he's all better now. I mean, he's been all over the board with it. And, okay, that's fine. He don't have to admit it. You can see it in his play, how he throws the football. He's not the same guy he was a year ago when he was healthy. But Garrett's always going to be a bit of a gunslinger. He's got that trait in him. No matter what, it's always going to be there, a part of his game. Even if he's injured or not, he's going to take chances downfield. They have not been able to get the deep ball involved in their passing game this year. And, man, Chris Hilton He's been almost like in the witness protection agency all year long. And then Nussmeier hits him with a pass in a bad place. It hits him right in the hands and he drops it. Okay, you got to make those plays, Chris. You got to make them when they're there. And he wasn't able to do it against South Carolina. Their defense bailed them out against South Carolina. I think, again, this is another really close game for LSU. Vandy's defense doesn't scare you. I think they're a solid defense. But I don't know if LSU can take advantage of it because of their inability to run the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, and Nuss not being healthy. I mean, can you imagine if LSU loses this? I've only got a couple of minutes, but Mike D, can you imagine if LSU loses this game Saturday? Whew.
I think a lot of people here suspect that it's going to be close. But I'll tell you this way, it'll make my week of sports talk pretty interesting if it does happen. No, I think people expect that this is going to be a close game.
Yeah.
Maybe when the season started, Bo, that wasn't the case. But I think now, having watched this team, they know there's no secret formula that's going to get them better on offense. It is not the defense, which has been an Achilles heel for this team for the last 3 years. It's their offense.
This is on
and that's Brian Kelly's baby.
Yeah. I mean, he's got an OC who has no – I mean, it's his offense, but, I mean, Sloan's not a big boy, big-time OC. I mean, Brian's doing this in – is this year 3 or 4, Mike D? 4?
It's 4.
Oh, my gosh. At LSU, I mean, I could go down and win 7 games a year, and I don't know anything. So a coach who knows something should win 10 or, 10 a year.
When we had him on in the offseason and talking to him about his offensive line, he was like, and come on, you're replacing 4 guys.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's going to be a strength of our team. And I'm like, oh, come on. That's great for the Tiger Club meetings, but you can't tell me that.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Mike Detillier is the best LSU Saints insider on the show. Mike D, appreciate it. Have a great week, my man.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Bo.
At Mike Detillier on Twitter, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike D joined us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Brought to you by the Gumbo and Shrimp and Oyster Po' Boys at Martin's in Livingston. Gumbo, shrimp and oyster po' boys, Martin's in Livingston. And ice cold Bud Light on tap. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Out of bounds, 105.9 The Zone ESPN. The text line, 601-885-3776, powered by Pearl River Resort.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's 9 a.m. and this ain't okay show. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. It's Mississippi's number one. WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Sound Warning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9. All set? Let's go. The Zone.
Well, good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Hope you're doing well. And thanks for making us your sports and entertainment show of choice. We love you. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. The show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Bet $50 at the Vegas-style sportsbook inside the Golden Moon Casino. Play award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club for $40. Bet 50, play 40 on the property of Pearl River Resort. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. I've got Straight Funk with me. He took an L in kickball, so we're not going to talk about that. And but I am a little disappointed because this is a show built and for winners. No doubt about that.
I flashed the leather now. The web jumps were there. One-handed snags.
I don't believe it. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Grit Fitness and Training Facility on Lakeland Drive behind Ergon. Grit. Jay Powell is the new Director of Baseball Operations, All-American at Mississippi State. World Series champ for the Florida Marlins. Jay Powell, Director of Baseball Operations for Grit Fitness and Training on Lakeland Drive. They've got memberships, all sorts of workout spots and places throughout. It's the old courthouse, which they went in and renovated. It's a beautiful, beautiful fitness and training facility. And then they also have indoor and outdoor turf, indoor batting cages, indoor pitching mounds, and the like, all at Grit on Lakeland Drive in Flowood. Show is also presented by Madison Ridgeland Academy. And MRA has Park Lane this week. Friday Night Lights, powered by Madison Ridgeland Academy football. They've had a good year. We'll see how everything shakes out as we march towards the MAIS playoffs. And, of course, the MHSAA playoffs. But MRA on Friday night right here on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And they've got homecoming this week. Mississippi State and Ole Miss on the road. Ole Miss in, this game, talking about buzz, two former Saban assistants who were wildly successful, right? And Lane Kiffin, whose specialty is offense, and Kirby Smart, whose specialty is defense. Now the head coaches at Ole Miss and Georgia. And Ole Miss is undefeated. I mean, their path to the college football playoff is there. They've got 3 road games left, and 2 of them are back-to-back here. At Georgia, at Oklahoma. And then at the end of the year at Mississippi State. So, Georgia hosting game day and Ole Miss. I think Saban will be on, he's already so good, he'll be on fire Saturday. And Pat McAfee will be an animal. I mean, he's already an animal. And he picked Indiana last week. Which was funny the way he set that up was brilliant because, he's like, my wife is a Hoosier. And what else? And, y'all know this. He punted for the Colts. He was a teammate of Peyton Manning. And so, you really still thought Oregon, and then when he started laying it out, you were like, damn, he's going to pick the Hoosiers. And he did. He did. What would the late Bobby Knight think about Curt Cignetti coming into Indiana, driving them to the college football playoff in year one? Again, you don't have to rebuild. I see people talking about rebuilding on message boards, and I wonder what planet are they on? But Curt Cignetti is an absolute dude. What if he wins the national title at Indiana? They're ranked number 3 in the country. They went to Oregon and won. Yeah. Oregon's a good football team.
They are.
Going out to Autzen there have been many a good teams go in to Eugene and get it handed to them. Oregon has players. They have dudes that look like SEC players. And Indiana went in there and won. They dominated.
I would say convincingly, right? Like, I mean, that wasn't.
What was Oregon doing on offense? You tell me.
Meh.
I mean, give Indiana mad
all the credit.
Props.
Man.
Their defensive staff, and I was reading on their defensive court. Hey, these guys can coach.
Would Knight be more proud of the Indiana football team or Mike Elko reincarnating, the Bobby Knight deal when he threw the chair on the sideline the other day?
Probably Elko throwing a chair.
Yeah, I mean, right? I mean, Indiana is obviously near and dear to him, but that chair is that is the moment.
I think Bobby Knight threw that chair against Purdue.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right.
That's 40 years ago.
It was in the 80s.
Yeah, it was 85, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So it was for the book Season on the Brink by John Feinstein. And it was before his third national title. He won in 76, 81, and 87. I was at the 87 Final Four. In 81, I fell in love with Isaiah Thomas. I was 8 years old. The Isaiah Thomas that actually won world championships for the Pistons.
Whoa.
So.
Are you throwing shade at somebody?
Yeah, because there's only one.
He's a
Hall of Famer.
You're throwing shade at his son?
No, that's not his son.
It's not his son. That's not his. Yeah, it's not his son. I know
stop?
that. That dude's a Celtic. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He won championships.
Who have they? Yeah. I mean, they beat Oregon.
Yeah, I know they beat Oregon.
And now they play Michigan State. Who do they have left?
Cakewalk.
Michigan State.
Obviously the one.
UCLA at home.
Look out.
With what Jerry Neuheisel is doing, Rick Neuheisel's son is offensive coordinator at UCLA. I mean, I don't think so, but you don't ever know. So they go back-to-back home games, Michigan State and UCLA. Then they go to Maryland. Then they go to Penn State.
Who cares?
Wisconsin at home. That's a disaster. And at Purdue against Barry Odom.
So, head to the playoffs.
They're either going to run the table or go 11-1.
Right. So they're going to the playoffs. Certainly feels as though.
Damn nations. They're going to the Big Ten championship game. Yeah. Play Ohio State.
And lose, but that'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean,
that's fine.
You're still in.
You're still in.
And then Ole Miss may be going to the SEC championship game. They've never been. I do have my power rankings for you.
Like that.
This is my short list SEC power rankings. Hold on.
I'll believe in Auburn and love it. War Eagle.
All right, number 1, I got Georgia. Number 2, I got A&M. Number 3, I got Bama. Number 4, I got Ole Miss. I mean, there's not a lot of difference here. Number 5, I got Tennessee. Number 6, I got Vanderbilt. Yeah. I think Georgia's road games at Tennessee and at Auburn are huge, and I think Bama's road games at Georgia and at Missouri are huge. Tell me other teams that have won big road games. I mean, there are some, but those are really, I don't care what anybody says, it's not easy to win on the road. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. The text line is 601-885-3776. Don't forget about a smash burger at Burgers Blues Barbecue in Dogwood, Flowood. Smash burger with some onion rings and some comeback sauce. Mark was all excited. I gave him one of those kits. Are you going to be the best man in the Jordan Elliott wedding? Oh, John. John's the funny. Oh, he may be the Good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And the crazy season is started, the coaching carousel. And we will be discussing it throughout the next couple of months, because when you have a job like Penn State come open, top 5, top 10 job, hundreds of thousands of living alums, they're willing to spend tens of millions and hundreds of millions over several years to go get a championship roster. They proved last year they could make the college football playoff, and they were within a play against Notre Dame of going to the national championship game and playing Ohio State. So that's where we are. James Franklin won 90% of his games, but couldn't beat top 5 or top 10 opponents. Couldn't beat Ohio State. Hadn't beat Michigan in 8 or 9 years. And, but he would beat Michigan State, Purdue, Illinois, Maryland, Rutgers, Indiana before Signetti. Those type
Woohoo
teams.
Great.
And, boy, I still can't believe they did it. I even with the 2 bad losses to UCLA and Northwestern, I can't believe they did it.
Really?
I can't.
Wait, are you talking about mid-season? Or are you talking about just period?
But what it does tell me, period.
Wow.
But it does tell me that finally, that their alums told their athletic director, we're done.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about influential people with money that are willing to give millions apiece to stock the look, they already have talent. You and I both, they already have players. It's just and look, they let Prabula go. He's the starter at Missouri. Drew Aller, nice player, but can't move. When you're a statue like Nussmeier or Aller, it doesn't work. The guys that can run around work. I mean, if Taylor Green had anything, can you imagine? At Arkansas, he's best player in the league.
He's so good.
Best player in the league,
Love it.
Taylor Green, QB1 at Arkansas. You put him at Georgia, it's curtains. You put him at Alabama, and Ty Simpson's playing well. It's curtains. You put him at A&M.
Oh, man.
Marcel Reed's nice player,
Ain't that.
but streaky as hell. But if you gave that Elko and Elko defense, Taylor Green,
Ring size.
number 1 seed in the college football playoff.
Yep.
LSU would be so much better because you'd have to respect him running the football, which would actually make their running game better, which they have none of.
Yeah. Brian Kelly found a way to screw it up. Dude's out of here.
He has screwed this up. He's in year 4.
Yeah, I can't believe it's year 4.
If he loses to Vanderbilt,
Is it after the Penn State midseason. No way they go midseason, right? No, they would. They got it in their blood to do that, right? They run hot enough.
Who?
The Cajuns? They'd get rid of Brian Kelly midseason if they needed to, if they felt like they should. Same way Penn State did to Franklin. Or do you think they'd ride him out all the way to the end? They just don't ride him out. Get rid of him. He already set himself up for this. He was the one that talking about the playoffs and all that in the preseason.
Keep on. I love where you're going. I mean, this is fantastic. What you're
lost the locker room a long time ago.
So you're out on Brian Kelly.
Should never been in.
Okay. If LSU made a move, Lane Kiffin's their number one candidate.
Oh God. All right. So I mean, hypothetically.
Whereas Florida, I think it's Drinkwitz. Well, or James Franklin. It's Drinkwitz or James Franklin for Florida. If they don't go get like a Brent Key from Georgia Tech, but Drinkwitz at Missouri, James Franklin at Penn State,
who fits more?
If the LSU, Drinkwitz would be great at Florida,
right? He would be right.
Now Auburn, if for some reason they didn't go get John Summerall, Brent Key is nasty at Georgia Tech. Now he's an alum, but it's Auburn.
Yeah, that's close.
It's an hour away, hour and a half away, maybe from Atlanta to Auburn, Opelika. Just talking about somebody who's tough as hell that could go in there and win. And look, man, give Georgia Tech credit. They went and got Haynes King. That guy's like Diego Pavia. He's just a damn dog. It looks like he tears both his ACLs every game and still makes a fourth quarter comeback. I don't even get it. It looks like he has 3 concussions, 2 ACL tears, and maybe his arm's falling off. And then with 3 minutes left, he leads Georgia Tech down the field and does some kind of circus play, and they win.
It's awesome.
I don't know. But I love where you're going.
Well,
with Brian Kelly. If they lose to Vanderbilt on Saturday, look, man, everybody may catch the Penn State bug.
Yes.
All it takes is one program.
Yes.
Auburn, Freeze isn't going to make it. Napier's not going to make it. The question is Brian Kelly going to go to Nashville this weekend? They are not favored against Vanderbilt for the first time since 1948.
Wow.
Now, even Jackson can't believe this. I was not alive.
That's hard to believe.
Okay? I was not alive in 1948.
It's God.
All right? If they're a 2.5 point dog in Nashville. It's an 11 a.m. Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary game. You sleepwalk through it, Diego Pavia will beat your you-know-what.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm just saying.
Which rolls into not one win or not one loss, but 2 losses, which rolls into 3 losses real quick.
Right.
Because, it's not like that schedule gets easier in the next month.
No.
They're toast. If he loses Sunday, if he loses Saturday, Sunday, gone.
Now, Freeze, if he doesn't beat Missouri, he is gone Sunday. Napier should win the game against Mississippi State this weekend. I think if State had a dual, if Mississippi State had a Diego Pavia type QB, I think I could really give them a chance. Shapen Levy will have to be unbelievable as a play caller on Saturday, and Shapen will have to be just crazy locked in and accurate.
As long as Lagway's going to give you 3 balls.
If that happens and you give Shapen a short field, maybe Fluff's not going to play, but Levy said yesterday the way that he is getting better is unbelievable. It almost sounded like he was thinking maybe the next weekend.
How?
Incredible against Texas at home. All the Tito's guys are coming in town. Y'all pray for me.
What time's that ball game?
It got announced yesterday. It's either 2:30 or 3:15 in Starkville.
Right.
Yeah. Where did I want to go before we get out? Spring Street Cigars today. Come see us for Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week. We're having a party at Spring Street Cigars from 3:30 to 5-ish today. It's inside the Rogue Men's Store building on I-55, 4450 I-55, right? It's an iconic building. It's right there at Highland Village. We're having an an Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week celebration party at Spring Street Cigars, brand new cigar bar and lounge. You don't have to smoke cigars to go and have fun. It's got a rooftop bar. It's got a bar downstairs, 3 floors, beautiful walk-in humidor. They've got the Bocock Brothers cigars, the M over S, Mississippi State, the LSU cigars, the Ole Miss cigars. I had one of the Ole Miss cigars last weekend. They got the powder blue band on it with the powder blue helmet. They're really good. I had the Corojo Honduran cigar. Very, very nice. The Bocock brothers are doing some really cool things in the cigar space. But today, 3:30 to 5, Spring Street Cigars in Jackson, Mississippi. It's located in the building where the Rogue Men's Store is located. We'll see you sometime between 3:30 and 5.